Thank you for watching and listening. I want to share a story about the time that I visited a Muslim medium at Kampong Buangkok. Kampong Buangkok is the last village in Singapore. So the reason why I went to this Kampong Buangkok healer was because it was my stepmother who brought me there. This happened many years back, way before I found out about the cult, way before I found out that the stepmother was actually not my biological mother, and hence the reason why I keep referring to her as a stepmother now. She's an evil, evil woman. We have been bamboozled, manipulated by her for decades. So the reason why I was brought there was because the place that we lived at, I encountered Pontianak, and apparently the Pontianak managed to be in our house for about 3 nights. And I'm too exhausted to talk about that. You can watch the video on the Supernatural group. You can watch that. This I'm just going to talk about the Kampong Buangkok experience. So sometime after the incident with the Pontianak in the house, I told the stepmother, and she didn't believe me. About a week or so, she started panicking, and I don't know whether she encountered it. I don't know what is it, but she told me to follow her to Kampong Buangkok to meet this medium. So it's a Malay Muslim medium. So when I was brought there, we went during late afternoon, late afternoon onwards, maybe about, I think it was close to towards evening time. So she brought us to the Kampong Buangkok, and there we met the first Malay man, and I don't know whether he's like the helper. So he was there, he recited some prayers, and he asked me if I had asked anybody else for help. At that point, I did. I actually consulted an American psychic. And just to digress a little bit, the American psychic he was very honest. I genuinely appreciate that. He told me that he couldn't see who was the one behind all the spiritual attacks because the person had cloaked the energy cloaking, and that's what the stepmother did. Stepmother and her cult did. There's a reason why it takes someone very skillful or someone with the relevant abilities to be able to find uh, the culprit. So at that point, the American psychic told me that he couldn't tell who it was, but he can sense that it's a woman, older woman, and something along the line of his guide stopping him. And I now really appreciated that, because I was concerned for all these people's safety at the same time. And yeah, I will leave that for another video. So back to that, the Malay man was saying, he was trying to say about you shouldn't consult people of other religion for help, things like that. I know at that point it's a thing in the culture where they like to humiliate and shame you. And I thought, people are people, good and bad, high vibrational, low vibrational, whatever your religion is, as long as it's high vibrational, as long as you're a good person, you're a genuine person, that's all that matters to me. But to other people, there's their own belief system. And after he did some prayers, whatever, it comes time to meet the actual medium. And we went to the surau. Surau is like a mini mosque in a village. So we went there. There were a lot of people there. I think there was some Malay motorbikers was like asking for help. I don't know. So when it comes to my turn, I was told to sit down and stretch my leg out. And anyway, the assistant, he was a bit very stereotypical passive aggressive, right? So he was saying I was rude because I pointed my leg towards the medium. Then I was like, you tell me to stretch my leg out, you know. At least you don't have to immediately say things like that. You can just have us please move your maybe stretch your leg out to the slightly to the side or something like that. Anyway, so the session started, and the guy was channeling the spirit and whatnot. And basically at the same time he was pleading with the spirit. He said in Malay, lepaskanlah dia, kesiankan dia, lepaskan adik ni, basically let her go, pity this young girl, things like that. And then he channeled the spirit. The spirit say, panggil aku kakak. He was speaking in that tone. Call me elder sister. It's a term, a respectful term to call someone older than you. And then the spirit proceeded to say, aku jaga dia dari kecil. I have taken care of her since she was young. And I thought it was odd because the Pontianak incident was maybe just a, a week before that. How can you say you've taken care of me since young? At the same time, the stepmother who was sitting on my left side, she's she was getting anxious, fidgety, like that, because now we find out that she was the one behind it all. So the guy went on to say that to try to negotiate with the spirit and things like that. And I was basically exhausted. I couldn't care less, but I just want to get it over and done with. And it came to a conclusion that the spirit demanded for 7 types of flowers, glutinous rice, and black chicken. And then the funny thing happened was the stepmother said, ayam hitam mana nak cari? Ayam NTUC boleh? Ayam cold storage. So basically, because we couldn't, where can I find black chicken? Where can we find black chicken? Is the NTUC roasted chicken? Will that suffice? So I don't know. Apparently, they came to agreement. I was just whatever, just get it over and done with. I don't want to deal with all this anymore. And then at the same time, suddenly the helper who sat on my right side, he said in Malay, Kak, macam cacing kena air panas je. But he was being sarcastic, right? Being passive aggressive, and it's an idiom in Malay that meant uh like you're guilty, because she was the whole time she was like, and her fingers were curled up. Apa why pula? And then it was too quick. It was too quick. I think it was less than 10 minutes. She okay lah, let's go lah, meripik lah. Let's go lah. It's rubbish, things like that. And the reason why she became like that during that healing session at Kampong Buangkok, because I think they were sensing that it was her. So you see, the whole time when we were growing up, we were brought to so many healers, so many makcik this, pakcik this, this auntie, that auntie, are all healers from all. We were brought to them. Majority of them were part of the cult. I remember it got to a point where the most painful one was when they insert a pen between our big toe and the toe after, in between the big toe and the second toe. I remember that lady, a brown skin lady, she was using the ballpoint pen with a cap. She was pressing our toes together, and I was pressing, we were screaming and shouting in pain. So we were walk kind to all kinds of bomos or healers and stuff like that when we were younger. I come to find out, I only found out through the most recent medium I consulted, was that spirit that the Kampong Buangkok Medium channeled, that spirit was the stepmother, because she was taught by her cult how to astro project, how to remote view and everything, how to mind control people. I don't know, the jinn is actually her. She was able to do all those kind of stuff, have shape shifts and everything, because this is what the Satanist cult taught them. The whole time we were manipulated. The whole time we were manipulated. She was there with acting, hey, what happened and what's wrong with her, and things like that. Not a single one of the killer actually told us it was her. The one that she brought us to. I do appreciate it. Tell the truth, Stop with the sarcastic thing, passive aggressive thing. There's a reason why life didn't get any better, it only got worse. Was because we were around the very people who were harming us. We was really literally living in the same house as the enemy. So we were told to go on a malam Jumaat by the Buangkok Medium to give all the offerings to a tree at 12 midnight. Malam Jumaat is I don't know how to explain. Malam Jumaat is literally Friday night, but the Malay Muslim calendar is one day before, so it's actually Thursday night. Then we went there, we found a tree, we gave the offering, we said the Muslim prayers, and he told us no matter what, jangan pandang belakang. Basically, don't look back. Because if you look back, then the ritual will break and they will follow you back. So we just did as usual. And then while we were turning the corner, the bend, you're not even looking from the corner of your eyes, you can see a lady in white walking like that behind us. And then by the time we went back home from the lift to our door, there was a trail of the glutinous rice right up to the door. So I don't know if the ritual worked. I didn't see the spirit anymore, but there were things like the items moving around. Things that you, for example, the most peculiar incident was when, money you put in your wallet, right? And the wallet was placed inside your bag, and your bag has zipped. When I came back, a $2 note was right on top of the table, and there's no one else at home. The $2 note from my wallet. I don't know how that occurred. So the most recent medium I consulted was able to see most of the truth and confirm my own suspicions, because the stepmother's behavior was very agitated, and very touchy, especially if you mention the word Indonesia. If you mention the noun Indonesia, she'd be like that. And I was wondering why. Why is it about her Indonesia? Why is she so fidgety? Why is she so testy when you mention Indonesia? And then now all makes sense. All these years of her suspicious behavior, her stories that doesn't make sense, she was behind it all. Thank you for watching and listening.